2022 фестивал на европската литература. Ова е веќе трет ден од нашиот фестивал, каде што веќе импозантни имиња помина. Денеска имаме подкаст со Даина Ополскаите. Now I will switch in English. We have Meda here as a translator, as a bridge between the languages and the cultures. Даина Ополскаите is a Lithuanian writer. She was born in Vilkavišis, I suppose I pronounce. Yeah. She graduated from the Lithuanian University of Educational Sciences. She has her literary debut in 2000 with a collection of short stories, and after that she also wrote several books for. She is also a well-known writer of young adult literature. This short story collection, Gieni Pyramide, I suppose, the Pyramids of the Day, won the European Prize for Literature in 2019, right? She works as a high school teacher. We have
not yet.
Not yet? Oh. Okay, because this was in the biography that I found. Okay, I am the translator of these short stories. Of course, I did it through the Bulgarian language, with the help from the Croatian translation of the book, and I find it quite interesting because for the first time the woman. The thing that we are saying as woman's writing, žensko pismo in Macedonian language, sounded a little bit different. How did you come with the idea of writing this book? Did it develop throughout the years, or you had a sudden urge to write it in one breath, as we are saying?
Supratėte, koks buvo klausimas? Ar jūs staiga gavote tą idėją apie šią visą knygą? Ar jums ta idėja atėjo metų laiku?
Iš tikrųjų, aš rašiau šitą knygą 15 metų.
She was writing this book for 15 years.
Ir rašiau atskiras istorijas, atskirus tuos apsakymus.
She wrote them differently, each story was written.
Tada tiesiog dėjau juos vieną prie kito ir jie taip kaupėsi ir gulė į tokią vieną kažkokią tai rinktinę.
She was just placing them next to each other and they just happened to become a book.
Ir praėjus kiek tai laiko, praėjus kažkiek tai metų, aš pamačiau, kad galėtų būti knyga.
And after some time, then she saw that this could turn out to be a book.
Bet Lietuvoje niekas nenorėjo leisti trumpų istorijų knygos, novelių knygos.
In Lithuania, no one wanted to publish a book which was just short stories.
Dėl to, kad Lietuvos leidėjai laukia romanų ir įdomių istorijų, didelių romanų.
Because Lithuania is waiting for books that are romantic books and novels, not things like that.
Not short stories.
Aš siūliau turbūt savo knygą gal kokius 7 ar 8 metus, kad ją išleistų.
She tried for 7 years for the book to be published.
Bet niekas neatidarė durų ir niekas nenorėjo to daryti Lietuvoje.
No one wanted to let that happen.
Oh my God, that's a lot of effort.
Aš jau buvau praradus visas viltis, iš tikrųjų, kad jinai išeis.
She had no hope for the book.
Bet tada aš pradėjau rašyti vaikams, paaugliams ir parašiau 4 knygas paaugliams.
But then she started writing for kids or teenagers and she wrote 4 books for them.
Jos buvo labai sėkmingos, pelnė daug premijų ir apdovanojimų tuo metu Lietuvoje.
They were very successful and won a lot of prizes in Lithuania.
Ir vieną dieną mano leidykla man pasakė, gerai, pabandykime išleisti tą apsakymų knygą.
And one day they decided, let's publish the book.
So it was another success that bring the success of this book.
Todėl aš manau, kad jeigu nebūtų tų knygų vaikams, vaikams, paaugliams, tai nebūtų išėjęs viršį.
So she thinks that if there were no books for teenagers and kids, this book would not be there.
Ir kada išėjo Dainų piramidės, ir buvo tokia sėkminga ta knyga ir pelnė Europos Sąjungos literatūros premiją, Lietuvoje pradėjau leisti trumpų istorijų novelių knygas, dabar jau leidžia.
When Pyramids of the Day came out, then the Lithuanian published company started to publish the books with a lot of short stories. Because of the book, this happened.
So this was like a groundbreaking thing.
Tokia istorija šitas knygos.
That's the story.
That's great. While I was translating the book, I found all the characters so, as we say, polnokrvni, like full-blooded, like really created from a person, not just from personal experience, but really are characters that are not a product of a fantasy, that they are real people somehow, especially the women character. There is one short story, Kroni, where the women are so living some kind of masochistic type of, they are feeling the pain, they were left, they were cheated, they were robbed and everything, and somehow they didn't lose their hope. How do you manage to write such characters that are at the same time Virgin Mary and also at the same time maybe a prodigal son, or maybe a woman who is left on the, let's say, the margins of the society? How do you find this recipe of writing a great character, female character?
Kaip jūs randate, kaip jūs parašote tuos veikėjus?
Man įdomu pirmiausia iš jūsų išgirsti tai, kad sudomino moters charakteris, ryškus.
It's nice to hear that the women characters are so interesting.
Todėl, kad italų spauda ir skaitytojai pastebėjo, kad vaikų charakteriai mano knygose yra tokie ryškiausi, stipriausi.
Because Italian readers think that the children characters are the most interesting.
Iš tikrųjų, taip, aš esu realistinės prozos kūrėja.
She's the realistic
prose.
Bet nėra taip, kad aš kopijuočiau prototipus ar charakterius iš realios aplinkos, iš žmonių, kuriuos matau. Taip nėra.
But she's not copying any characters from the real life.
Dažniausiai tai būna kažkokios tai detalės, kažkokie tai vaizdai, kažkokie tai savybės, kažkas labai tokio smulkaus, ką aš sudedu kurdama į kažkokį tai charakterį.
She finds the small things, like small details, images, and with them she creates the character.
Iš tikrųjų, kada dirbau mokykloje, man teko matyti labai daug tos tokios grynos realybės, vaikų ir jų šeimų.
In school she saw a lot of reality of the kids and their families.
Ir iš tikrųjų daug tokių socialiai pažeistų šeimų mačiau, daug.
She saw a lot of socially damaged families and children.
Ir manau, kad per ilgą laiką visą tai kažkur tai nusėdo manyje, gulė manyje ir vėliau, surado kažkokius tai būdus virsti charakteriais veikėjais.
And after a long time it stayed in her, and then she this way found those characters.
Ir taip pat labai mane domina žmogaus ribos, kiek žmogus gyvenime gali pasiekti, kiek jis gali sau leisti ir kiek jis negali.
Žmogiškumo ribos. Personal
personal, like she was looking at those characters, personal observation, or?
Domina žmogiškumo ribos. Kiek žmogus gali būti stiprus, kiek jis gali ištverti, kiek jisai gali toliau eiti.
She's interested in how far the character can go.
So finding the limit, finding the edge of the...
I'm interested in that.
It can be seen in the stories. Like the story also with the sister who is cheating with the husband of her sister. You know, all those domestic stories that maybe seems like a trivia, but it's not. But here is written in a way that causes, when you read, to feel empathy, to feel the pain at the same time. You have the power to cut it through the characters with a knife. It's really to kind of get their feelings outside. That is one of the things that I really admire in your writing. Well, when I was reading some of the stories, I find them really, really modern, but sometimes I can feel a little bit, maybe some traumas from the communistic or post-communistic era, like those bunkers under the soil in one of the stories. And do Lithuanian authors have some sort of sentiment or trauma from the Iron Curtain times, from the Soviet times, if I can say?
Ar Lietuvos autoriai turi kažkokį nuo Sovietų Sąjungos traumą, sentimentus, kokius nors?
Nes jaučiasi mano kūryboje, tai kažkokias, tai sakykime, tokia... Aš labai kad neturi.
She hopes that it's not like that, it doesn't have those kinds.
Tiesiog mano novelės turi jos tokią klasikinę liniją, išlaiko tokią klasikinę liniją.
Her novels have this classic line.
Lietuvių literatūros klasikinė linija. Lietuvių literatūroje iš tikrųjų novelė yra stipri ir mes turime per daugybę metų susiformavusią novelės rašymo tradiciją.
There's a tradition in Lithuania specific for novels that it seems to be following.
Mes neturime romanų stiprių, mes neturime šiuolaikinio, pavyzdžiui, romanų Lietuvoje.
There are no modern romance books.
Bet mes esame stiprus ir turėjome visada, būtent nuo sovietmečio laikų, trumpų istorijų ir atsakymų ir novelių klasikinę tokią tradiciją liniją.
But from Soviet Union we had this strong like a rule for novels that is followed.
Ir kadangi aš studijavau lietuvių filologiją,
and since she has studied Lithuanian philology,
ir susipažinusi su gerai su lietuvių literatūra ir dirbo mokytoja ir dėsčiau lietuvių literatūrą.
And she well knows the literature of Lithuania and she has taught Lithuanian literature.
Tai aš manau, kad į mano kūrybą irgi ateina tos klasikinės išlaikytos formos nuo, galima sakyti, ir tų sovietmečio laikų kažkiek atsispindi.
And she thinks that there is some, like you can see the rules from Soviet Union, the rules for novels, because she has taught it and studied it.
Gerai pastebėti.
In our literature we have the same, we have our layers from our socialistic times, and it can be seen in a lot of the authors. Even some of those that were on this festival, maybe not so open, but between the lines you can find some sort of sentiment. There is also another story that I like about the betrayal, Madlena and I. It's really interesting. you kind of manage not to judge your characters for the things they have done, the betrayal, the adultery, but at the same time you are kind of punishing them inside the story.
Jūs jų nesmerkite savo veikėjų, nors jie labai daug padarė blogo.
So what are your thoughts on the love and marriage outside the book and inside the book?
Kokios yra jūsų mintys apie meilę ir santuoką ne knygoje, pasaulyje?
Turbūt aš būsiu iš tų, kurie vis dėlto tiki tomis tradicinėmis vertybėmis ir man jos yra labai svarbios.
She believes in traditional
values.
Ir man turbūt nieko nėra brangesnio, nieko nėra gražesnio už žmogaus ryšį su žmogumi.
And she finds nothing else as beautiful as this connection between people.
Aš manau, kad kažkokie tai sveiki santykiai ir normalus gyvenimas įmanomas tik tai šitų vertybių fonde.
The connection with people is possible only in this kind of when you believe this kind of stuff.
Your female characters are really the thing that really kept me all the time exploring and sensing and feeling them, because you are not trying to make them martyrs or to make them victims or to make them sinners, but still you don't like the ultimate sin of adultery or cheating or betrayal.
Jam labai patinka jūsų moterys, veikėjai. Could you repeat the last?
She's not making the characters just martyrs or adulterers, you know, cheating, unfaithful people, but she's also like kind of giving them hope somehow.
Veikėjai nėra visiškai vienodi, jie gali būti labai įniršę, bet arba labai nuskriausti, bet jie vis tiek mato viltį.
Klausydamas jūsų, aš dabar noriu pastebėti, kad vis dėlto prisiminti ir priminti, kad šitie tekstai yra rašyti ganėtinai seniai. Tai yra prieš 10, prieš 15 metų.
These texts are written a long time ago, 10 years ago. So.
Ir šita knyga man yra
brangi. It changes now the point of view, I understand.
Ir šita knyga man yra brangi tuo, kad kai aš ją atsiverčiu, aš matau, kaip aš augau ir kaip keitėsi mano kažkoks tai mąstymas.
This book is important for her because she can see herself growing, her thinking growing.
Ir tai, ką aš parašiau tada, nereiškia, kad kažkas nepasikeitė dabar.
And the things she has written then does not mean that she is the same right now.
Dabar aš rašau kitą apsakymų knygą, naują.
Now she's writing another book.
Taip pat tų trumpų istorijų, short stories, bet aš manau, kad tai bus jau visai kitokia knyga ir aš būsiu kitokia joje.
So she's writing another book with short stories, but she thinks it's going to be very different.
So we change from the...
Esminės vertybės tai tikrai išliks tos pačios, jos tiek nepasikeitė manyje, bet ta knyga turėtų būti erdvesnė, modernesnė, šiuolaikiškesnė, aš manau.
The main aspects are still the same, but she thinks that the new book needs to be more modern.
My points of view about marriage changed when I was in high school, reading Anna Karenina. In high school, I said, how she can leave her child, how she can marry another guy. I could not go through this. And after 20 years of reading and growing up, you say like, maybe people in love, you know, they change their opinion from time to time. House, rooms, all those bunkers under the soil. Sometimes in your stories there is a claustrophobic space that maybe makes people scared. In some of the other stories, there is always woods. There is always, going into the nature, outside, outdoor camping and everything. You, as a person, not as a writer, do you like going camping into the woods? Do they make you more safer inside than these short spaces?
Ne, aš nemėgstu nei kempingų, nei miškų.
No, she doesn't like nature or camping.
Iš tikrųjų esu namų žmogus ir man labai yra svarbus tas keltas, kuriame aš jaučiuosi saugiai.
She's actually a stay-at-home person, and she finds it very important, her own space.
Ten aš galiu rašyti, galiu galvoti, galiu kurti kažkokį tai savo pasaulį, man labai svarbus yra namai. Tiesiog namai, turėti namus.
She can write there, spend time, and it's very important.
Bet ko gero nutinka taip, kad man įdomu yra kurti tokius veikėjus, kurie yra visiškai priešingi man pačiai.
But she likes writing the characters that are opposite to her.
Ir kurie išeina ir gyvena tą normalų gyvenimą, ir stovyklauja, ir vyksta kažkur tai.
She likes that they live like a normal life, they go camping.
Iš tikrųjų, aš save pavadinčiau žmonių ir gyvenimo stebėtoja. Aš susikoncentruoju tą stebėjimo tokį būvį.
She thinks that she's the person that is looking at people, not participating, but more watching.
Observe.
Bet savo kūriniuose aš mėgstu vaizduoti, išskleisti tą aplinką, išskleisti žmonės, išskleisti jų gyvenimą.
She likes to expand everything in her books, their lives and what they like.
Because writing about camping in the story with the father and the son going together on camping, it was so natural that I said, definitely, Даина goes camping a lot, That's the thing that I said, full-blooded writing, you can sense this, but
She hates tents.
Oh my God! The last question, it's about, it was translated as dolg, which means debt when you owe someone.
Aš labai kentėjus nuo šito kūrinio. Aš sugavus labai daug pylos.
She had, she got very, because of this piece, story, she got some bad
reviews.
Yeah.
I understand the ending, but why did it happen, why the person did that to the... I don't like to do any spoilers for the readers.
Šito paties manęs klausė viena sena moteris Lietuvos bibliotekoje.
In the library, an old lady has asked the same thing.
Ji buvo turbūt šokiruota.
She thinks the lady was very shocked.
I wasn't expecting that. It was totally a mystery thriller moment. Oh my God! Everything went, slow, asking yourself, will I be a good father? Will she be a good mother? Am I going to be just like my daddy and everything? And suddenly that ending was really oh my God, I never expected this. Not anyway.
O tai gerai ar blogai?
Is that good or bad?
That's great. That's great. That's awesome because it whenever it leaves you oh my God. Then it's the real shock.
Dėl šitos novelės aš buvau apkaltinta nehumaniškumu.
She has been she has been told that this is inhumane, the story.
Nes kaip bebūtų, tai yra vaikžudystė.
Because it's killing a child.
Ir šitas temas liesti reikia labai atsargiai.
And this topic should be touched very carefully.
Bet man patinka ta novelė, kurią aš parašiau ir aš kažkaip džiaugiuosi, kad jinai išėjo tokia, aš patenkinta ją iš esmės.
But she likes the novel. She's happy that it
Yeah,
turned out the way.
it's one of the best, to be quite honest.
Thank you. Ir aš manau, kad rašant ją man pavyko peržengti kažkokias tai rašytojo ribas truputį. Daugiau negu aš tikėjausi iš savęs galėjau padaryti.
And she thinks that because of this story, she was able to cross some kind of writer line.
Over the limits, over the top.
Šiaip aš dar laikausi tos nuostatos, kad skaitytojui nereikėtų aiškinti jokių kūrinių pabaigų ir ką jie reiškia. Aš galvoju, kad nereikėtų rašytojui aiškinti skaitytojui, kodėl taip yra.
She thinks that you shouldn't ask the author about why this happened. She thinks that this should be understood.
Nes skaitytojas
it was bothering me, that's why.
Aš kad skaitytojas turėtų surasti atsakymus pats.
The reader should find the answers by themselves.
Kiek jisai stengia tai padaryti ir kiek jisai gali.
As much as they could.
Bet tiesiog taip, šiuo atveju galėčiau pasakyti, kad ta pabaiga iš tikrųjų jinai nėra tradicinė, ne tokia, kokios tikiesi.
The ending is not traditional, not what you think it will happen.
Tiesiog tai reiškia, ta pabaiga reiškia tai, kad tiesiog buvo išlyginta kažkokia tai skola, kuri žmogaus gyvenimas yra kaip dovana. Ir jeigu jisai yra padovanotas arba pasiimtas, kada tu negali jo gauti, tai yra kaip kažkokia skola. Ir ją turi grąžinti nebūtinai tas žmogus, kuris gyvena, bet aplamai ta skola turi išsilyginti.
The life is a gift, and if there is a debt, then it should be somehow claimed.
Oh my God. Thank you all. Thank you, Meda, for that translation. It was great. I mean, it's really interesting to hear the language. It sounds very melodic and everything. But then to understand it's even more better. Thank you. Thank you, Даина, for being a part of this festival. Hope you also had a great time with all the other writers, and we are expecting your new book.